Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute.
All right. Ooh, wrong one. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Eddie Live Podcast. I am here with Julia, aka
Style Piggy.
Style Piggy. Yes. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I have to say, I love the In-N-Out shirt.
Thank
Beautiful.
you. Thank you. Thank
Love some In-N-Out. It's funny being an owner of a restaurant with a lot of American customers. They're always like, you got to go to In-N-Out. And the one time we went to LA, we landed, we went to an Airbnb, and the people were like, hey, is it your first time in LA? I'm like, yeah, first time in LA. They're like, well, what's the first thing you want to do? I said, In-N-Out burger. And they're just like, what? I said, In-N-Out burger. They're like, no, Venice Beach is right there. And I'm like, no, I don't care. I want to go to In-N-Out burger. So yeah, In-N-Out burger, good stuff.
You're not from Cali?
I am from Canada, actually.
Oh,
yes, I am from Canada.
I did not know that.
Yes, I was born in Canada. My parents are from Mexico originally.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
and I've been living in Taiwan for like 20 years. I don't know,
Oh, wow.
long time.
Almost as much as me.
I
I'm just
know.
kidding,
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
I know. I get that a lot. Yeah. So maybe we can introduce you before you introduce yourself. Yeah.
Oh.
Go for it. Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe you can introduce yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Julia, aka Style Piggy. I'm from Taiwan, and I make games, specifically right now in the crypto space.
That's all. So obviously as a gamer, right? So tell me like how you got into this, because it's such a unique thing for somebody to make games, and I think it's even more unique for them to make games in the crypto space.
Yeah, actually, I think this is really funny. I actually did not. I mean, I grew up always as a gamer. You hear this all the time from people who make games, but you never think about, like, I never thought about it as a career, because growing up like in Asia, in an Asian culture, they don't be like, oh, you can make games as a living when you grow up. No, especially not in especially not like 30 years ago, right?
Yeah.
But now it's an actual viable career path. Like people, you can be a streamer, you can be a YouTuber. There's so many things in the gaming industry that you can become. But back then there wasn't anything like that. There was a roadmap. They're like, oh, go into finance, go do marketing. There's nothing like, oh, go into gaming. So yeah.
You're a pioneer.
No,
Tell me
definitely
more.
not.
Tell me
definitely
more,
not.
please.
I think it's just it was never in my mind that this was a career path for me. But so when I was working on just doing like import export business here in Taiwan, it was really boring. And I kind of like reignited my passion for games.
Yeah.
As in, like, I started playing games again when Fortnite came out.
Nice.
I'm sure maybe you played
sure,
it.
Of course.
Fortnite was huge. And that kind of just it took over me. I got super addicted. I mean, before I played Counter-Strike like for fun,
Great game
but now Fortnite was like, oh wow, this is really fun. I'm like actually really good. I got to like Taiwan number 7. And then I got into streaming on Twitch. And then I was like, wait, why am I just playing for fun? If this is something I'm actually interested in, can I actually make a living out of this? So I was just looking for jobs in gaming now. Like I was like so many years out of college already. And I was like, is it too late for me? It's like crazy. So luckily I landed a job in publishing, in games publishing. So it was one of the bigger publishing here in Taiwan Mobile. They publish Riot Games. So I was like, I played Valorant a lot back then. So I was like, oh, why don't I just...
I'm just going to spin this so that...
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, you're great. You're good. I just want perfect. You're
okay.
Good. I got it.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so I was playing Valorant a lot. I was like, oh, why don't I just work for Valorant? And then I looked up the publishing, it's Taiwan Mobile, and they were hiring. So
awesome.
That's how I got into gaming in general. Yeah.
So now it's funny because when I was a kid, I'm quite a bit older than you, but I played like Nintendo and all that stuff. And, you're supposed to go to sleep and you would just play, your video games and stuff. And so people always say Asian parents and that Mexican parents are similar, right? They're just like, who the hell's going to pay you? You're not going to make any money playing video games. You're like, turn that thing off. So same thing. So now fast forward X amount of years later, and it's just like, there are full-time like esports and like full-time streamers, YouTubers, gamers, KOLs, right? And it's crazy. I think it's a really cool thing. And yeah, maybe do you have some tips for somebody who's like maybe like, hey, this is a cool path? Like maybe you can tell a little bit more about your journey into like making it a profession.
Okay.
A career.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically how I went. I just started out playing games and was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, what can I do in this space? What's fitting with my skill sets? So
Mm-hmm.
I do have background in like marketing and finance. So that's kind of what publishing is basically marketing games,
Okay.
managing the community. So those come pretty natural if you study that, or if you were in any community growing up. I think that's really good fit. And actually in crypto, like going into Web3,
Mm-hmm.
that's how I went about as well. I started as a community member, and then became a moderator, like a community mod in Discord of a NFT project, which I am still currently in the same company that launched the NFT project. So, and then now I'm a product manager for games. So yeah. So just starting from the community, being super involved, understanding what's a good game. I think that's, yeah, if you want to make games, that's a good viable path. But to be fair, there's so many different things you can do in gaming. Like you don't have to make games. You can design stuff and then still be in gaming.
Okay.
So many different paths. Yeah.
So I love the topic of gaming because I know that it's improved a lot. I think it was 3-4 years ago they started to do sort of a lot of the games, right? Like a lot of the crypto games. And when coming from like a gamer going on to some of the early games, they were really bad. Like they were unplayable, to be honest. And so now how has it changed from like these unplayable games that were like felt like 1920s Minecraft, like now some of the games are looking really good. So maybe you can talk a little bit about how it's improved. Like how
you
the
mean
games,
specifically
like
games in Web3?
Gameplay in Web3 and stuff like that. Yeah, how that's going.
Yeah, in the
Some
beginning,
of the early ones were rough.
Yeah, actually, it's funny because early on, Web3 gaming wasn't even a thing.
Okay.
It came about. It was first like, people, projects were releasing NFTs to help fundraise their game development.
Okay.
But a lot of the studios, a lot of the projects, they realize like even with the money they raise, the quality of game that they can make is not necessarily good. So that's where you see like kind of the 8-bit stuff, the browser stuff, kind of starting off with like super easy stuff, like clones of like very basic platformers, for example. So yeah, it did come about that way. And then now you're seeing definitely more like traditional game studios coming into the space, not necessarily building in Web3, but to capture the market share. And also I think there is a trend where it's like, games, they shouldn't call themselves Web3 games. They shouldn't like pigeonhole themselves, right? Because you're just making a fun game. So you shouldn't separate yourself like, we're a Web3 game. No. Yeah, you should have some Web3 mechanics, but you shouldn't pigeonhole yourself if you're trying to make games overall, right?
Well, so like obviously games like we were talking about 8-bit, that's like when I was a kid, and all the way to now, PS5 and all that stuff. So how difficult would it be for like like a crypto company to kind of like do something with like what's the big game that's coming out next? Everybody's GTA 6 is people have been talking about that for 10 years. So how can how can they kind of bridge that like amazing playable game that everybody wants to play and kind of bridge that onto like the Web3 sort of gaming? Is there a way? Like,
yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I've been with my company Meta Theory that focuses on making games with blockchain technology and crypto technology for 3 years now, and we're still trying to figure that out. I don't know if anybody has figured that out quite just yet. There are some contenders out there. I don't know if you heard of Off the Grid, Parallels TCG, Across the Ages. So there are games that are trying to be that killer app, killer game that onboards all the Web2 users, all the gamers, right? How can we do that? I have a theory, but again, like nobody's been able to do it, so I don't know if my theory is right or not.
Beautiful. Would you mind sharing it, or is that some high private stuff?
No, it's not high private. I think a lot of people have this theory and they're all trying to make it work, right? But actual development actually takes a lot of time. It takes a huge team, takes a really good game idea as well. So it's not just like you have a theory, yes, and then you can make it. No, everything has to come together.
Okay.
It's definitely not like, oh, I have an idea and I can make it happen. You need a full team. So yeah, basically you have to make a game that's fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You need to make a good game that's fun. That it doesn't even matter the Web3 mechanics. A lot of the Web3 users, people are playing the games to earn money, right? So they don't really care about the fun.
Gotcha.
But for you to actually attract people beyond those people that are making money, it has to be fun. And then whatever mechanics that are within blockchain tokenomics, that will come. That's probably hidden. Yes, you can say, oh yeah, we accept crypto. You can trade. It will be on chain. That's all fine. But first, you need to have a good game.
A good game. Okay.
Yes.
So you touched a little bit on the company you're working with for 3 years. So maybe you can tell me a little bit more about kind of your day-to-day stuff, what the company's working on, or if it's some private stuff you don't have to share, but just anything you want to,
yeah, definitely. It's not private. We launched recently. We launched our latest mini game called Gimme Cat. It's playable on Telegram right now. Where we're developing a lot more mini games in the background because we are a professional game studio that does gaming. So yeah, we actually, before, this isn't our first game that we launched a IP called Dustbreakers before. So that was really fun. But I don't think the space was ready for like a game. We had a really good playable demo that was kind of like a space Diablo shooter looter roguelike. I don't know if you're familiar with like games like Hades. So
I played Diablo.
Okay. It's a little bit similar view, but more roguelike mechanics within.
Gotcha.
So I think it was actually a really, really fun demo. The development time for that would have taken a really long time to get the full game out. And I think we wanted to kind of pivot into more mini games to kind of see what works and what doesn't. I think that experience really taught us a lot. So now we're pushing more mini game style app, more hybrid casuals, and teetering on mid-core games. So yeah. Definitely check out Gimme Cat. Check out our company to see what we release next.
Okay, that's beautiful. And it's a Taiwanese company, right? Or tell me a little bit more about the company.
Yeah, so we're actually a remote company. We do have a location here in Taiwan, like an office here, but we're mainly remote. So our founders come from Twitch. Actually, our CEO is the co-founder and COO of Twitch.
Wow.
So yeah, we already did our Series A funding, and now we're just building. Yeah.
That's amazing. And so it's funny because when you talk about gaming, we were touching on that earlier. When I had my daughter, I had my video game systems, and I'm like, okay, I sold them all on Facebook Marketplace. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to introduce her to this. And then when she was like 3, we went to Canada and my nephews were all playing Switch, right? And then she kind of went and she watched, then she kind of like started playing with them and she was just like, whoa, this is awesome. So from then on, we're like, okay, got into like the Minecraft and like the Roblox and stuff. And because of all the podcast stuff, she has her own little channel because we have all the gear already, right?
Nice.
So she loves it. Yeah. So I think now, like, I'm all for, that'd be great. That sounds cool. Like she could be a YouTube streamer or Twitch streamer. I think that's great. I think she'd love that.
She can be anything she wants.
Yeah. So I think
you should tell her that.
For sure. I do.
If you're watching, Eddie's daughter.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So
you can be anything.
For sure. So we're excited about that. And again, it's not a traditional path, of course, in Taiwan, but I think it's getting there slowly. A lot of kids now, they want to be YouTubers and stuff like that and influencers and stuff. So I think it's pretty cool. Yeah.
I think that's what they see, right? So that's kind of what they aspire to be. I think definitely having that passion is good. Going to start. Who knows where it will take them? Yeah. Maybe they discover, I actually want to go into tech now that I know this is like with the system that builds it. I don't know. So it's pretty cool.
And I think the cool thing about like the influencer stuff is like my daughter, she grew up, in this YouTube sort of influencer era. So like her favorite YouTuber, she puts basically on the same level as like a Hollywood actor. So she'll be like, her favorite YouTuber is it's like a Asian American who lives in Vancouver. Her name's It's Funny. Her name is It's Funny, right?
Oh.
And so so she's been watching her for years, and so she puts her on like a Brad Pitt like kind of a level, and it's crazy how a YouTuber can be put on like the same level as like that. It's crazy because I obviously grew up before that, so it's different for me. But for kids that have grown up through that, they're like, yeah, it's the same. They're like, this is YouTuber, blah blah blah. And we went to watch the Minecraft movie.
Oh, I did too. I loved it.
Yeah,
it was so fun.
It was cool. Yeah, it was really good. She loved it. So we went and we watched it, and there was the pig with the crown, and she was like, oh, screaming out, and she's like telling me all that. I'm like, what happened to that? And I'm like, why does that pig have the crown on? And she like explained this whole thing to me in the movie theater, and I thought, oh wow, okay, really.
Did
cool.
you guys watch the 4DX one?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
no.
That's fun.
Is that where you went to watch it?
Yeah.
Or like the IMAX or something? Or where?
It's 4DX. It was at Wei Show.
Okay.
Xinyi Wei Show. Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't know there was an option for that.
Yeah. Basically, I don't know if you know what 4DX is, but basically the chair.
The chairs and stuff?
The chair moves. It has stuff like it hits you, and you can
cool.
imagine Minecraft. There were so many like battle scenes and like flying, and then like there's also smells come out,
really?
and there's like fog machines. It was kind of crazy.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot to sit through because going to movies, you kind of you want to relax, right? You just want to eat some popcorn, but this like you can't. I'm like always on the edge of my seat, like I'm like, oh, please don't hit me, but it hits you, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm good. But it was really fun.
It sounds like anxiety inducing a little bit.
Yeah, it was.
Like,
oh my gosh. Actually, I think people who sat beside us, they had a drink, right, and spilled all over them.
That's
I was
awesome.
like, that's hilarious.
That's so funny.
Everybody should check out 4DX. It's so funny. Just try it once. You'll probably hate it, but at least you'll know what it's about.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Let's talk a little bit about the crypto scene in Taiwan. So what do you have? What do you think of like how it's been growing and stuff, and how the crypto scene is in Taiwan?
I think it's growing. It's definitely getting there. I think there was some setbacks like in the past, just bad actors in the space. And this is not just in Taiwan. This is all over the world. But I think it's definitely going up there. I think the government is placing a lot of policies that are going to help crypto in general, especially stable coins. So I think that's definitely something to look out for. There are going to probably be more exchanges coming up for Taiwan. I know before they implemented like AML laws here in Taiwan. So some exchanges were shut down, but there are definitely going to be more legit exchanges that are going to pop up, and that's just going to help in general of the crypto space here in Taiwan and crypto adoption.
I think it's great. Yeah, I think there's more options are needed because I know that for Taiwan, the big ones are like the Bido Pro, and then MyCoin, right? These and I haven't tried in a while, but I remember that MyCoin basically it's pretty hard to get as a non-Taiwanese. You got rejected.
I'm Taiwanese, so I don't know the flow for non-Taiwanese.
You know what's hilarious? So I tried to get it. You give my ID, and I got rejected. And I know a lot of Canadians and Americans, and they all got rejected.
Oh no!
And it's funny. So I'm like, okay, so my wife is Taiwanese.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a good story to share.
Oh,
but my wife is Taiwanese. Yeah, we're not looking for sponsorship from those guys. Okay. So basically, my wife's Taiwanese, and she doesn't know that much about crypto. But I'm like, okay, let's register this account. Let's do it. So I know we applied, blah blah blah. And then I think the next day, somebody called her and asked her a bunch of crypto questions.
Oh,
right?
wow.
And she's just like,
when did you open the account?
This was a couple years ago.
Okay,
right? This was a couple years
maybe
ago,
that's
right?
why.
Yeah. So they call her and ask her a bunch of crypto questions, and she's just like, "Hey, what the hell? What are these guys talking about?" Blah blah blah. And then they're like, "Okay, sure, no problem." And then they like blacklisted her.
Oh no!
So I'm like, so it was like, so we like appealed it, and they're like, "No, you have to use another family member, and I was like, it was really crazy. It was
That's
so crazy. Yeah.
weird.
And it was weird, but
I
like,
think
yeah.
it's much easier now.
I hope so. Yeah,
Yeah,
but the
because-
Bido one is all good.
Okay.
Like I have that and I'm all good.
Okay.
But I was kind of like shocked about that. Yeah, I hope that's nobody's sponsor, but yeah, but it was kind of crazy. Yeah.
Dang, I was
Anyways,
trying to
yeah.
get sponsored. No,
Yeah,
I'm just
there you
kidding.
go.
I'm
Yeah.
just
Okay.
kidding.
Well, sorry about that. Yeah.
No, I think it's definitely easier now because they partner with Far Eastern Bank.
Okay. Oh, beauty.
So
Okay,
so
okay.
you can definitely just open a digital account with Far Eastern and then connect it that way.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah,
Nice. Well, we're gonna
So,
switch over to the
I
man
can
over
still
here.
sponsor.
Get that. We're looking
I'm
for
just
that
kidding.
sponsorship. But I want to do a quick little, quick like a game here with you. So it's gonna
Sure.
be
Oh my
overrated,
gosh.
overrated, underrated, or
Okay.
properly rated. Right.
What's property
properly
rated?
rated? Like hype. Like the hype in that is, if the hype is too much, then it's kind of like overrated.
Oh, properly.
Properly is like, yeah, it's like it's a pretty
Oh,
property.
I thought you said property.
Property.
Like
Sorry,
like you own this
like
property.
monopoly money over
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
No, properly. Sorry.
Properly.
Yeah,
Okay, got
yeah.
you. Got
All
you.
right, good. So I'm just gonna throw a word out, and you just let me know.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay. Number one, Bitcoin.
Bitcoin underrated.
Underrated.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ethereum.
Underrated. You know what? I feel like I'm going to say underrated for everything just because the current market is so bad. So
Okay,
everything is underrated to me.
Okay. NFTs.
Oh, that's interesting. Underrated.
Underrated. Okay. We'll see if we can get you to overrate one here.
Okay.
Solana. Probably not.
Solana. Oh, ooh, underrated.
Sui.
Sui. That's a good one. Actually, I want to say, it's tethering. Maybe properly.
It could be properly.
Properly.
Yeah. What about DeFi?
Ooh, DeFi overrated.
Overrated.
You know
Okay.
why? So many projects are doing DeFi, something with DeFi plus AI. That's why I think it's overrated, even though we're in like a builder market. I don't call it bear market. I call it a builder market.
Builder market.
Yeah. So that's why I think DeFi is overrated, just because everybody is building on DeFi right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Web3 gaming.
Oh, Web3 gaming. Oh my gosh. Is it bad if I say overrated? Just because I don't think Web3 gaming should be a thing. It should be gaming, period.
That's a good answer. I like that. DAOs.
Underrated for sure.
Underrated.
Yeah.
Okay. The
Metaverse. Oh my gosh. You know what got me into Web3 is Metaverse, the promise of a metaverse.
Okay. You were going to put your savings into buying a house next to Snoop Dogg. Is that what you were going to do? Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Not in a sense, not metaverse in that sense, but in the sense that, anything is a metaverse. Like Twitch is a metaverse for streamers, for the community there. That was the metaverse in my mind.
Okay.
But metaverse became something completely different from that, I think, like what the general public knows. So in that sense, I think it's overrated. Like the word itself is overrated.
Gotcha.
But I still believe in like that, the promise of like a community where you can live in, and the environment.
That's
like
cool.
Fortnite itself is a little metaverse ecosystem there. In that sense, that I still think that's a thing, but in this public sense of a metaverse, I think it's overrated.
And I think like kids growing up playing Roblox, I mean, that's also like a little metaverse, right?
Yeah.
Like my daughter will play with her friends that she met in Canada. They'll play Roblox together, which it's really cool. And they'll chat and stuff. Yeah. One more.
Sure.
What about real world assets? Like,
gold,
silver, real estate.
Underrated. For sure. See, I got mostly underrated, right?
Okay, but I got you to say at least one overrated here. So that's
Web3 gaming.
That's good.
And metaverse.
That was a surprising.
I think it's the term. I think the term itself, it needs to change.
It's overused.
Like, yeah. I mean, NVIDIA used Omniverse, right? I think that's also like just like a marketing term. Marketing terms are overrated, so that's why.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
So we're gonna switch out to my man over here. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Eddie.
And you're going, and hopefully we'll see you in Dubai.
Hopefully we'll
see you guys all in Dubai.
We'll
hopefully we're gonna see this lovely lady in Dubai, and we'll go and we'll hang out in Dubai. Yeah.
Cool.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll switch out and back to full value. For the real crypto question.
Don't trip.
That was a high bar. I got to jump over some wires here. Our lunch is ready, so these are going to be super quick questions. Hold on,
Whoa.
Like Superman.
Yeah, so
Wow.
you were saying Meta Theory, one of the core investors or CEOs, that's The guy from Twitch?
Yeah, actually, our CEO is Kevin Lin
Whoa.
from Twitch, co-founder and COO.
Well,
Yeah.
now I'm really, really interested in meta theory.
Oh wow.
How can people get exposure to this? Because obviously, you guys are raising funds. Could be a potential coin. We don't know yet. But I'm sure people want to be involved if one of the co-founders of Twitch is in a crypto project.
Actually, do you know Justin Kahn? Actually, the one of the founder, like core founder of Twitch and Justin TV, the
Oh yeah,
the one
yeah.
before Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually he was in a crypto project as well on Solana. I think he was creating like a launch pad for games on Solana.
Yeah.
So but back to meta theory. I just wanted to make sure you know that there are multiple people from Twitch that are doing crypto stuff.
So this is probably going to get me on the outs already, but I remember Justin Kahn around COVID time. He was like getting really popular on YouTube and other platforms, and he was talking about how he started Justin TV and it turned into Twitch, and then he really seemed like he was trying to find his new journey where he's like all right, maybe I'll be a YouTuber, maybe I'll be a content creator, maybe I'll be a spiritual guru, and then I kind of fell out of the algorithm, so I don't see much from him. So yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I just wanted to say it. That's how I know Justin Kahn.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's how I know him as well, just because I never watched him back in Justin TV. But yeah.
But yeah, I think that's just a random thing about
All
wealth.
good.
Like once you hit wealth, you're like, all right, well, I have no more grind. I have nothing to grind for anymore. That's a very good problem to have. So him and some other people that were the co-founding teams of Twitch are part of Meta Theory now, and they're trying to build out things in the crypto space for content creators and gamers. Can you share more about that?
Yeah, so we want to create meaningful experiences, and we think games are a way to do that. We really want to foster the sense of joy and the sense of belonging to our partners, to our community. So we're creating in that realm. And right now we're starting with games.
And is this just through Telegram, the Ton ecosystem, or are there other ecosystems you guys are building on?
So right now our main game, Gimme Cat, is on Telegram, but we are exploring other platforms. It's a big space. There's a lot of platforms, a lot of chains. Yeah.
So is Gimme Cat the kind of like bringing in consumers to be a part of Web3 for certain products and teams and companies, or what does that look like?
So right now, Gimme Cat, how we work is we're working with our partners and mostly other projects, big IPs like Web3 IPs like Simon's Cat, Doge. We work with Doge IP to bring those IP to life to users, and we thought Telegram would be like a really good platform to get people exposed. But right now, what we're seeing with Telegram is not a lot of. My mom doesn't use Telegram, right? So we're definitely exploring different platforms to hopefully get these IPs to life elsewhere, so then everybody can have exposure to that.
Okay, so one cat coin I know on Solana, like Mew, MEW.
Oh, actually, we work with Mew. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mew's on in Gimme Cat right now.
Okay. So I'm just trying to give examples of like maybe products that haven't joined, products that have joined. What's the experience like for those companies that have been onboarded into Gimme Cat?
Yeah, so Mew is a perfect example. They run a lot of IRL events. They
have great merch, by the way.
Yes, and they're pushing their merch stuff. So what's really great about Gimme Cat is we can tailor it to our partner's brand IP. So we kind of created like a Gimme Mew, like a Mew takeover of Gimme Cat for them to play with their users, for their users to play in real life at their events. And if they get a high score, they can earn Mew's merch.
Wow.
So make it more interactive that way, like a interactive branded experience.
Right. So if you're at the event and Mew's probably giving out merch to the highest score people, that could be like one way to gatekeep some of the best stuff that they have available.
Yeah. They actually have a lot of cool merch. They have like a keyboard, like a mechanical keyboard, like a Mew branded one. They have like a really cool like collectible figure as well.
Yeah.
So that's just like 2 out of like tens 20 merch that they have, by the way.
Actually, my favorite merch was from Token 2049. It's just a water bottle, but it has like
nice.
this white rubberized coating on the outside, and I love it.
Okay.
Where you put down your bottle, it's not clanking around everywhere, and it's just like it has a nice grip to it. And it's like, yeah, this is a nice experience.
Yeah. So yeah, basically people played Gimme Cat, Gimme Mew, and scan a QR code, played, show them, oh, I reached this score, what can I get? And then they get a merch. So super simple, and they really the Mew team, they really had really good feedback. So they're gonna keep using Gimme Cat in their future events as well. So watch out for those.
Awesome. So Gimme Cat is one app. Are there going to be other apps, or is there anything currently in development?
Yeah, actually we have multiple games in development.
Okay.
As mentioned before, we are a professional game studio, so we have like 3 or 4 games running in development right now. Usually, I mean, so it's really hard for a game to get out of the prototype phase, just because if prototyping is really fast and easy and dirty, so we're constantly like prototyping. I think there are some games that got out of the prototype phase, so we're actually building those all out as well.
Now, for the communities, is it the community for Gimme Cat or a community for Meta Theory that you guys are building also?
So right now we're building the community for Gimme Cat.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, community for Meta Theory, I'm not so sure, just because like Gimme Cat is cuter.
Right,
Meta Theory, we don't have
it
a
sounds
really...
very corporate versus Gimme Cat. Yeah.
Yeah, so we want to make sure people resonate with the brand. Yeah.
So let's say you are going to Token 2049 because you're pitching very well and showing the
thank you. I hope you're not just being
benefits.
nice.
Like you're explaining it very well, very articulate. So let's say your company sends you to Token 2049, which they should.
Thanks.
What's the game plan to onboard new developers, new teams to Gimme Cat?
Oh, so usually, yeah, we go to events. Sometimes we host side events, and then we'll also have maybe some speaking events, and then we have people play it, and then actually go through the process of competing and winning prizes that way. Actually, we had one in Hong Kong Web3 Festival. We did one on the Pudgy Penguin stage, and then gave out Pudgy merch to the top 3 players.
I saw that. That was amazing.
Yeah.
It was also a very good panel. I recommend it. We're going to share that later.
Wait. Oh, the panel you're thinking of, I think that's Meme X, right?
Yeah, Meme X.
Oh yeah, so I did
There were
two.
two.
So I did one in Meme X. I didn't do the competition one, but for the one that I just came back from Web3 Festival in Hong Kong, all good.
Right.
That's also a good panel.
Yes.
So yeah, we actually did a competition live, and people were playing, and seeing that in real life is really cool. So if we do go to Token, that's definitely something that I want to do again, and then get people understanding, like interacting with Gimme Cat, engaging with Gimme Cat that way.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. If you make it to Token 2049, we'll live stream the event so everyone can also experience that in real time. And maybe potentially, if you're in a place where we can easily ship it, you can get some merch.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, that is our time because it's lunchtime and it's kind of late. So
lunch.
We'll look forward to more from Julia in the future.
Awesome. Thank you, Dan. And thank you, Eddie.
Yes.
Awesome.
This has been great. And until the next one. I
Bye.
don't know how to sign up.
Oh, it's okay. Follow me on Twitter, Style Piggy, and follow Gimme Cat Game on Twitter as well.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And follow Full Value Dan. You gotta promote yourself. Okay. Hi, chat. Bye, chat.
Bye.
Thanks for the laugh, Cindy.
I
That was
didn't want to
fun.
go too long because I was like, oh yeah, we got food. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh wow, that was. I feel dead.
I know you were on the fence about Token, so I was like, all right, let me make this look good.
You got it.
All right. Go for it. Joe, the food can come. Is it already there? Okay, go eat. I will.